Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will not come in as hot as Nick did this morning, so to save everybody's ears. But I am Joe Bachman, and this is The Burning is Love. Tonight I have a piece that we're going to do. It's kind of a smaller piece, but there's a lot of fine detail to it. So it'll give me a chance to use a couple of the different tips I now have for this new burner. If you haven't seen it already, I did release another time-lapse video earlier today of 3 deer. Actually, this guy right here. So, still trying to get used to the shading a little bit, but it's actually coming along pretty well. But with that, we will bring in Dawn.
I'm here. Uh-oh.
And we'll bring up the other screen. I don't want me as big. There we go. I do that just to mess with you.
I know you do. Thanks.
You're
the star of the show. Put me in towards the bottom. You're the star.
Oh, and we have a special guest tonight.
Ooh, who's our special guest?
Yeah, we're going to bring him up while he's doing that.
I sure did.
I had no problem keeping up that long for you to do it either. Okay, that just goes really bad because the second you said nobody wants me that, or nobody wants me that big, I'm like, maybe Trey does. Not the green room.
Yeah.
But
we already went green room tonight. We're gonna go plaid, aren't we?
More than likely.
We're going to jail.
We'll get the music going. We're going to start off with the Displaced Detective Suite from Dan Hollifield, based on a novel written by Stephanie Osborne. You can find both of them on indiecd.org.
Speaking of Stephanie, she got a new baby yesterday. His name is Gray Cosmo Cat.
Nice.
So if she happens to be watching, congratulations on your new addition.
That's good to hear. She was hurting after Elron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead. I got excited.
No, you're good. But you can
He was
find
a good
both of them on indiecd.org /about-Dan-Hollifield and about-Stephanie-Osborne. And we are going to start off with we'll start off with track number 1, Indistinguishable from Magic. And bring that back down. And I will let you get into the comments. I got that set for the right side. We're going to start this off a little low. Come out of there. Thank you. Oh. And we do have a ton of comments tonight.
Well, I know that we have two of our usual suspects. We'll call them nicely. The usual suspects. They are at a what do you refer to it as? I don't even know. Wait, call it down. Huh?
Well, they said it's like it's a self-publishing seminar.
Yeah, something said.
What he said.
Yeah, so they won't be with us tonight. So I hope they're having fun doing what they're doing, though. You guys cool with me getting into the comments?
I'm good with it.
Richie, you got anything to add?
3 + 3 = 6.
Okay,
ask a smartass a question, get a smartass answer.
True. And we all know that we are all that way in this group of people. But Dan was first in the door, and he's saying hi to Joe. And
Good
Joe's
evening,
saying
Mr. Hollifield. Oh, that's right. I did type a reply, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Mm-hmm. And Foxy said, "Evening, everyone. I hope you're feeling better, Foxy. I know this morning during NTF you were not feeling very great, but hopefully you got some rest today." And there is the other half. I was going to say the unbetter half, but that doesn't sound very nice. Thesis. Good evening, Thesis. I was just teasing. And Joe said, "Your ears must have been burning. We were just discussing who was going to be in the chat tonight." We were, because we knew Carl and Donna weren't going to be here. And literally we went, Foxy and Thesis will probably be here. And next thing you know, so welcome. And Foxy goes, "My ears are fine. My throat is another." Oh no, her throat is another story. She hates being sick, so she must not be feeling much better. Aww. But on the plus side, candy canes are helping more than cough drops usually do.
I actually keep a small baggie of the little peppermint discs and Werther. Well, actually, I keep 2 different bags because I don't want my Werther's caramels, the hard caramels, being with my peppermints. They get a weird taste afterwards. And Jolly Ranchers, for that exact reason, they tend to soothe my throat and have that soothing last longer than a Hall's.
I have this thing with the butterscotch discs.
The butterscotch buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another thing you could try, and I don't know if you're allergic to alcohol or not, Foxy. I know Nick wouldn't be able to do this, but so my neighbor used to make a concoction. We called it Hoosier Shine. It was basically Everclear or Gem Clear, which was same difference, just cheaper. Mix that with some water to cut it down a little bit from the 100% alcohol down to roughly 50, and add a ton of honey to it and shake it up real well. The honey will help soothe the throat. The Gem Clear acts like NyQuil, and it is great in hot tea.
Ooh. And that is for people that are 21 and over.
Yep.
We used to do blackberry brandy. 21 and over. Let's see here.
Blackberry
Next we
brandy,
have-
depending on the brand, you might as well just take the cough syrup because it's going to taste the same, if not better.
Oh, no,
Blackberry
no.
brandy. When I was a kid, my parents used to give me a little bit of that to deal with the throats, and then also they used to make hottie toddies, which was basically whiskey, lemon, and honey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were the good old days. And Dan said hi to the Invisible Dawn as well. Yes, because when I start talking to people beforehand, I get really confused when I go through the comments. And Lisa said, working on the t-shirt designs for the tea house merch, I've accomplished a white border around the back image, so now it can be seen on all different colored shirts. Yes, you were working on that this morning, or mentioned working on that. So sounds like you had a good day. And I got to see a little sneak preview of what you have asked Mr. Bernie over here to do. And Dan said, that's great thesis. And he said, probably will not be going through Cafe Press to get them, though, because that would be really expensive. I don't know what the shipping costs would be, but here in town, one of the major screen printers, they just sold out to one of the people that I kind of have connected with. So I can always get you in touch with them, and they can give you quotes, probably. Look at that. We're doing work every day, all day. Wait for Rich to blink. I like it. It's weird having somebody else here with me looking at and actually seeing people. You're looking at me. And Dan said, oh, the union members at work sent me a nice card about my retirement countdown being over. And they included a $100 Visa gift card too. Dang. Most likely because I was one of the earliest members. Well, congratulations, Dan. I bet you that gave you a little sigh of relief and everything. And
But there's a weeping angel on the other side of my camera, so that's why I don't blink very often.
As long as the angels don't have the TARDIS, we're fine.
the angels have dirty wings and a bent halo.
I'm preparing to do another version of my a better, more closed off version of my font for doing shirts and stuff like that. So I've actually been doing some work on that front.
Cool.
Now I just gotta sit down and actually just draw everything back out.
So the font, like that's you use in your hold-up signs?
Yes.
Okay.
So
for those that don't know, hold up one of the nicer ones.
where is our favorite one about Dawn?
In other words, don't hold up the Cult of Chris one. Because Xander may be watching. Hi, Xander, if you are.
So,
not the green room. There we go.
So this is a font actually drawn by me and turned into a font. So if you're in Stupid O'Clock or Last Man Standing or the Green Room and you see me hold up these goofy signs, you know, I actually built a font because, you know, the original Not the Green Room was, I can actually say here.
Oh, here, hold on. I got a better, I can give a better view of that one.
But, so, you know, that's hand drawn by me because I was just being a doofus and goofing off and people seemed to like it. So I kept doing stupid little signs like that. But yeah, I'll be able to actually, you know, the problem with the font that I currently have is some of the letters, because I was drawing on a much smaller image box, went just outside of where it picked up when it did the scan. So some of the letters are
I just happened to see this pop in, so let me... Michaela is here, but she's got the early shift tomorrow. So hi, Michaela. Bye, Michaela. Hopefully everything's going well. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No problem. So some of the letters have like little open gaps and stuff like that. So if we try to use this in anything that has and try to fill it, it fills outside of the area and stuff like that. So I'm trying to make a better closed off version. So I'm using larger boxes and stuff like that. So. And then
nothing wrong with a large box.
All sorts of fun that can be had from there, like 3D printing weird stuff, or burning stuff, or
this is for Joe. That's what, the third, not the green room, and we're 15 minutes in. Dang. Okay.
I'm just looking to set a record tonight.
Apparently.
But yeah, so yeah, and it'll be offered to all the regular reprobates for free if they want to use it for whatever.
So I do have a question on that. Do you have to do the entire 26 letters again, or just certain ones that are not?
Oh, my sweet summer child. For the font, there is a total of 84 characters.
Okay, well, whatever characters. But do you have to redo all of them, or can you just update the ones that you feel?
I got to redo everything.
Oh, God, thank God, Carl's. Oh, he's going to watch this on the replay. He's going to grab that. No, I mean... I did the mouth drop, and he has this tendency to,
Yeah, there's 84 characters, including punctuation, numbers, dollar sign...
And
uppercase, lowercase, whole 9 yards. So, but yeah, and like I said, there's going to be 84 characters in the font.
That's more characters than what we have in this. I was going to say this Mary Tunes place. I can't actually say it because WB might come after me. I mean, they're. And Dan said that it was totally unexpected too, Foxy, for the gift card from his union. That's always nice. Unexpected is nice. Good unexpected. And Dan said he should probably spend it on something responsible, like groceries, instead of wasting it on beer.
Spending it on beer is going to reduce your grocery bill, so it's still works out the same either way.
Get a bottle of Statesman or something. If you're going to waste it on alcohol, do it on the good stuff, right? Or the honey stuff that you had that was nummy. And Dan said, I hate being responsible, LOL. Well, you are done being responsible for one thing now. That's called 9 to 5. So congratulations. And Thesis said, unexpected money is always the best money. It is. And there's Michaela saying hi. I'm sure she's gone by now, but hi, Michaela. And Dan said, I can imitate being an adult if I have to, but fun is, well, more fun. I get that. Adulting sucks, but sometimes, you have to do it. And Dan saying hi to Michaela. And Thesis says, I've been saving money for a new sword. I should be adult and use that for bills and such, but new sword. And the bills are paid before any money is set aside.
Here's the thing. Doing irresponsible, with air quotes, things, on yourself every once in a while when you are saving up money to do stuff like that, you're actually being responsible. It's part of self-care. We are doing so much every day that is just soul-destroying, wearying, just grinding, just horrible BS that we've got to deal with. And, spending $15 a week on Starbucks, or, $50 a week on a good bottle of liquor, or, buying a couple of 6-packs or whatever for the weekend. That's That's still self-care, as long as you're not going overboard on the irresponsible purchases. But I mean, again, if you're putting money aside because you want a new shiny, you're being responsible about it. And I'm sure that if something happened and one of the pets or Foxy or yourself had, you know, a major medical issue or something like that, you know, and you're looking for scratch, I'm sure you're going to dig into the sword fund like, you know, most responsible adults.
Is that your PSA? But it's true. It's very true. I agree with you 100%. You have to, you know, even the past couple of years I've been like, oh, I feel guilty if I go do this or do this. And it's like, no, sometimes you just have to.
Misty always used to feel bad about, you know, spending $20 on chocolates or, you know, just weird little kitschy stuff, candles or whatever. I'm like, it's stuff that's going to help you de-stress. It's not, you know, I can find the money for that. I can't find the money to get you out of jail if you snap and kill me or the kids or something, you know. not that Misty's prone to do anything like that, but if you have to put up with me 24 hours a day, I could see you snapping.
Very true.
After all, my parents did name me Dick. I get to live up to it. Misty hates that joke. She's like, you don't have to. I'm like, I never said I had to. I said I get to. It's a privilege.
We love you, Rich.
And you can too for $39.95. Actually, who are we kidding? You know, when it comes to that,
$20.
Yeah,
I was looking for. My $20 is $20, son.
Yeah,
I need to load those up in there.
And Dan said, okay, Joe has been playing with new sound effects. Have you, Joe?
No, that was the same intro that I have every week.
Must have been. Didn't Dan say he set up some new speakers within the past couple weeks?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. And there is the About Joe Bachman link. And there is the Hey Now, $20 is $20.
Wait, we're promoting that hack? Good lord.
I know. We need the not Joe Bachman. He's much better. And Dan said hello to the suddenly visible dawn.
I'm still tempted to do what I said on Nevermind the Furthermore and create Nick a second page that's him as a cryptid and just have Through the Thinning Veil as the only listing on there.
Oh, that's funny. I'm waiting for that one. And there is greetings to Richie, or to Rich from Dan and Thesis. And I know we're all guilty of it.
You're part of the family. Trust me, I have no qualms calling people out using that shouldn't use that. If I don't stop you, don't worry about it.
We've been granted permission. And there is the About for Mr. Hollifield and the About for Ms. Stephanie Osborne. And Dan said that his favorite tracks off of the current album we're listening to is Unlimited Sky and Two Become One. But I'm really proud of the entire album. Sorry. Which one are we listening to, Joey?
Right now, this is track number 1. Indistinguishable from Magic. But we are 25 minutes in, so we're going to take a short commercial break. And then we will switch over to track number 4, Unlimited Sky.
Okay.
So with that, we are going to play... I still need to get his new one uploaded. But since Dan is here, we will play the older Aphelion ad.
Hi there, my name's Dan Hollifield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Aphelion website. Aphelion has been online since 1997. Since then, we've brought you the very best amateur science fiction and fantasy writing, and given the world at least 100 brand new professional writers from those who have walked through our doorways. So if you enjoy reading, look for Aphelion. That's www.aphelion, APHELION webzine.com. A quick Google of Aphelion-webzine will give you everything you want to know, plus 20 years worth of our backlog of files, our archive of stories stretching back until February of 1997. Think of Aphelion as a permanent floating writer's workshop dedicated to helping new writers become proficient enough to become professional writers and best-selling writers. We have over 100 success stories to our name, and if you're an amateur writer, you may be our next triumph. And if you just like to read stories, we've got plenty of them for you. Just come on by and visit. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And to answer your question, Dawn, no, I did not.
Yeah, that totally gets a screenshot. I don't care.
Yep. But you know what? I can probably grab that real quick. We're going to get Unlimited Sky Plan.
Okay.
I'm going to jump over here. And come on, work with me, computer. There we go. Get that. Save image. And throw that in the NDCD folder.
I hear birds.
And come back here. Go to overlays.
Okay. While you're working on that, I'm going to go on to the next comment. Bladed Thesis said, no, you're right, Dawn. I am the unbetter half. I was teasing. You are not the unbetter half. You're just the different half. We're all different.
And here we go.
Oh, hold on here.
NDCD Con.
It's going to be this weekend. It's free admission to the public, and it's for authors, artists, and more, and people that just like to be silly, crazy, and have fun. It's at the Benton County Annex Building at 410 South Adeway A, Fowler, Indiana, 47944. And it is open to the public, and it's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's good for knowing for those of us that just live across the border. Just saying. Okay.
Yeah, Nick's in the wrong time zone.
Nick should be over here tonight. Somebody summon him, conjure him. Nick. Okay.
I was thinking about working on the fire again, and there that should summon him in a rage.
Hey, Fox, she said, I've done a shot or two before. Right now, candy canes and honey. Lisa said dragon fruit rum. Oh my gosh, that is so good.
That sounds tasty.
It is. There's certain things I miss about not being able to have alcohol, and stuff like that is what I miss. The good stuff like that.
Oh Lord, not the green room. Not the green room. Not the green room.
What?
No, just in the green room. Friday night, just mentioned dragon fruit rum and wrong thoughts, and we'll discuss that unrecorded.
Okay. Oh, look, there's your link, Rich, for the ndcd.org. That's who's joining us this evening. Rich S. Lund Jr. And that's where Michaela said she's got the early shift, so she can't stay and play. Talk to you later. So I'm sure she's gone, but thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. For everybody that is still here, don't forget to like and share and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. And Dan said, night, Michaela. And Foxy goes, I buy rocks, which I make them into things. I buy rocks, and then I look at them and go, ooh, pretty. Looks like Rich is going to grab some.
I buy rocks and play games with them.
People off of 4th Avenue and Broadway and Gary buy rocks. We won't say what kind. Richie gets that. Richie gets that.
It cracks me up.
Gary is.
Blady said, I always
cracks me up.
Blade said, I always make sure bills are paid and food is plentiful before I set aside anything towards my sword. That's being adulty. Adulty sucks, but we got to do it.
I also print things that look like they should be made of rock.
Yes.
That is so cool.
That's the 10% size version of Mortimer. That's the 30% size version of Mortimer.
Hold on a second. We're going to switch. There you go.
So that's 30%. That's 10%. Itty bitty gargoyles. This is going to be my plastic Jesus.
Good.
And Thesis says, and I get birthday and other such gifts for the important people in my life before I set anything aside too. Yes, because people, friends and family and friends that have become family are very important. And Dan said, yeah, it must be the added speakers. I'd never noticed the campfire sound effect before.
Yeah, it's kind of low in that for the most part.
Let's see. Thesis said, yeah, it's been the whole time, but it's been a couple weeks and you got a new sound set. So yeah, it probably sounds different. And older ad for the old god of, well, they're that their southern range that shall remain unnamed for copyright reasons. Wink, wink. Let's see your wink, wink, Rich. He's ignoring me.
Sorry, what was that?
Wink, wink.
Yes, wink, wink.
And there is the link for Aphelion webzine. The next issue is due to come out March 2nd?
March 3rd, I believe.
March 3rd, and our very own Joe Bachman is going to have a story in that issue. So congratulations on being published.
And a cover credit.
You would?
And Joe's going to have cover credit too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So thank you, Dan, and congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
And Dan said, you'll like this song? And then he told me the birds are part of the song. I know, Dan, I was being silly. And Foxy said, it's very meditation-y.
It is. It's a very soothing song.
But uplifting. One of those things. Oh, and Thesis says, oh, Dan, I think I figured out a way to use your song. I'm going to take some pictures of all my swords and use it as the soundtrack. Awesome.
That'll be fun to see.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be like a slideshow with that as the background. Oh, that'll be neat. I can't wait to see that, Thesis. Dan said, yay. And just for fun, Thesis went to Google Maps, and it would take Foxy and him 22 hours and 6 minutes to drive from our apartment to the Annex Building.
Oof.
I did not realize that you guys.
That's right. You guys are out there, aren't you?
Yep. Oh wow, that's like the summer when we went from Illinois to Tennessee up to South Dakota, back up to Illinois. Long trip, very fun. Got to see all different sorts of the world or the country. And Thesis said, and yes, dragon fruit rum is awesome. We had a bottle in our fridge for about 8 months. Before I went on stage for the variety show, check my channel for the video, I took a shot of it to calm. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Understandable.
And Dan was laughing at Joe for something. We all laugh at Joe, though.
I love
Oh, and there's actually the link.
Going back to
ruin Chinese martial arts for whole time. Whatever.
Going back to Apelian webzine for a second there. It's also a great place to go if you're stuck in your writing. He's got a beautiful set of writing prompts that I have used longer than my youngest child has been alive to help me go through daily writing exercises and stuff like that to try to get my butt writing on a regular basis and such. Just little ideas just to start going. And again, it's a beautiful tool that I've actually kept around for right around 17 years or so. Started using it shortly before Crow was born.
Is that the narrative hook?
That's the narrative hooks. Yes, that's exactly what that is.
So if you go to the website and you go to the Writers Challenge, I believe it's number 19. There's something about the weirdness around.
Yeah, most people never notice the weirdness all around them. I do. I hang out with you people.
That is what I used as my writing prompt for that short story.
Awesome. That is a good one. Of course, I still owe Dan. Hell opened up and spat out a hero, and I hate to kill a man for bad manners, so I was happy when he took a shot at me.
Oh shit! So on.
Ooh, I like the one before that. Beauty may only be skin deep, but evil goes all the way to the bone. So true. And he said, later goes, yes, that is a quote from when I first put up the video. And Thesis said it takes about 14 hours to drive to Foxy's family farm. He's done it in 12, but he was speeding. But we all follow the rules, in case Xander's watching. And there is the link to the page that we were just talking about with the narrative hooks, though. Okay, you guys can talk. I'm caught up on comments from people.
Well, I just switched tips. This is one of the new kind of blade style tips that'll allow me to do more fine lines, which should work out really well, seeing as...
That's the one that you're using for the shading on that acorn and leaf one, right?
No, that's actually a different tip. I used this to do the lines inside the leaf on that. But if you look at the house here, there's the house and the reflection of the sails. There's a lot of fine lines. And that's where something like this is going to come in very, very handy. The one I used for... Oh, come out of there. The one I used for shading the acorn is actually this one. It's kind of a... Almost looks like they just took a piece of metal and took a hammer to it and flattened it out.
And then Dan said, ooh, I might even convince Dawn to write a story. I already have 2 stories going. I should probably write
the
on
first
those.
one is that she's a perfect innocent angel, and then the other is... wrong stories.
I am a perfect innocent angel. I've never been busted-ish.
So was Lucifer at one point in time.
See, at one point in time.
Dawn, it's your story. You get to tell it how you want.
I do.
You're the perfect innocent angel of your own story instead of the hero of your own story.
Hey, I'm still going through a hero's journey, so... I haven't finished my story. I'm still going through my hero's journey.
I went on a journey for a hero. It was pretty good. The
beef was a little dry.
Could have used a little bit more dressing on the sandwich, but
The tomatoes weren't quite ripe enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were going with that as soon as you started. I thought you were going to sandwich that all in there at some point in time.
Yeah.
That little rim shot thing that goes dum-dum.
All right, let us move on to a different joke.
Well, never mind. Dan said, not for me though. Always time to branch out. Now, the first story I'm stuck. I think I figured out how to get out of it. The second story I'm pretty excited about. I have to be in the right mood to write that one.
Yeah, I got stuck with the story I was writing, so I just chopped off the last paragraph, redid it, and went, "Ooh, good short story to submit."
There you go. Lisa said he's got 4 in his Google Docs that I've been working on for years. I keep letting my imposter syndrome kick my ass, and I delete them and have to start over. Do not delete them. If you need to set them aside, set them aside. If you need to put them in a different folder, put them in. Do not delete them. Oh, Thesis, you just broke my heart. And I'm not even a writer. You broke my heart, along with everybody else that's writers that's watching right now.
Bladed, do not make us do to you what we did to Keisha during the green room and have an intervention.
The green room intervention.
So before she came out with him, she was dragging her feet about finishing it, and she's like, "Well, I don't know if it's good enough to publish, and this and that." And it was kind of a conversation during Nevermind the Furthermore, back when Brian was still host. And finally, it came up one day, and I think it was Carl that just flat out said, "Okay, this Friday we're having an intervention with Keisha." Yeah, it was one of the more serious green rooms for about half an hour, and then it went back to its normal, regularly scheduled broadcast.
Shenanigans.
Yep.
Well, I think there's been a couple little interventions that have happened in the green room. A good place to go.
They're in the middle of Keisha and me.
Keisha, is that what we're going to call the
That is officially what they have called it. Is they will Keisha you.
They will do the Keisha.
As long as we don't get a Dolores, we're fine. And Dan said, Thesis, the trick is to get out of that is just to plow ahead and then edit as needed.
You said plow.
The whole town?
He said ahead.
He said ahead and plow. Edit. And Dan said, a green room intervention is a serious threat to one's sanity. I think you guys gave me one a couple weeks ago. A couple of you did that were in there. And Bladed said one of them I probably can't publish because it's an owned IPO and I don't think I have permission to use the characters.
Well, and here's the thing to that thesis. You may not be able to publish it for sale, but if you do it through Lulu, it does give you the option of making it a private thing that will not be on their store. So you could still finish it, create your cover,
and give it to folks.
And then, you could still print it and give it to family. You could print just one copy just to have for yourself. But that is an option.
Did you get that? So do you have any big plans this weekend, Joe?
Probably gonna sleep most of the weekend.
Okay. Sounds like a good plan.
I have a convention I'm going to.
Really? I bet it's the same one I'm going to.
Going to a convention in Florida?
Really, maybe not.
So there's kind of a backstory to that little bitty joke. So when my wife and I got married, we made a Facebook event post, or rather she did. And then she, of course, invited me. And
What was she thinking?
anyway, right? I replied to it, sorry I can't make it, I have a wedding to go to that day. Which got several laugh reacts from people.
I bet. If your friends already friends from when you got married or anything like the friends you've accumulated, let's watch this crazy stuff, yeah. Well, you almost added, quote unquote, inventor of the energy drink Plow the Town to Joe's bio for his Aphelion story.
If you still have time to edit it, Dan, I give you full permission to put that on there. Just because that's going to make people read my bio and go, what the?
We aren't normal. We aren't sane or something. I don't know. That's funny though.
I almost want to make like, so remember the old
more
Saturday Night Lives where they were acting like they were cutting to commercial break, but it wasn't an actual commercial. It was like a skit commercial.
Happy Fun Ball might stick to certain types of skin.
Yep. I want to do that with Plow the Town now.
That's actually where my mind was just going. I'm like, I don't need to write the ad copy for this. Why am I reaching for a pad of paper to start writing the ad copy for this?
Yeah, you don't need to write the ad copy. You got other things you need to be writing.
Dan is rot flamawing.
Oh.
I think that kept rot flamawing.
I need to be choosing covers is what I need to be doing.
Yes, you do. You both are busy. And he says that Liam knows this one, but I had a dream that made me come up with the idea of what if Jack the Ripper never stopped killing, but instead was reborn as a Highlander-style immortal?
Oh, Lord.
You mean, oh, Lord. Come on, Rich, expand.
Most of my friends were really big fans of Star Wars and Star Trek. No, granted, I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. I went overboard into Highlander and the lore and stuff like that on both the movies, and should have only been one, and the TV show.
I like it. Should have only been one.
But so yeah, it's just that tagline right there, that little synopsis. I'm just like, oh Lord, I can smell the sword oil for the movie. It's the memories that you can smell and things like that. It's granted, that those aren't actual memories or anything like that, but that's so vivid an image in my mind that I can hear the battles. I can smell the streets, and it's terrifying and wonderful all at the same time.
Are you coming down, Rich, or are you still undecided for this weekend?
Truthfully, it's going to be a morning of decision.
Okay.
It's I don't know how hard it will hit me until day of.
It's understandable.
Understandable. Let's see here. Oh, and he says that Jack is not the person you expect. He's an aristocrat asshole who just hates women.
So you're saying he is the person that I suspect?
How's the shading going there, Sir Joe?
Just coloring in the windows real quick, and then I'll be busting out the other tip to do actual shading.
And he caused the sinking of the Titanic by ignoring the rules and fighting on holy ground. Okay.
Actually, we're going to leave that as is.
Interesting.
And line added to the bio.
Yes.
Damn kids these days.
That for about a 2. Ah, there we go. Actually, we're going to go about 2.5.
You told me I was a 10. Oh, that's what you want.
Up that to a 3 because I'm going to do this door a little darker.
Okay, so
And Ian said, y'all are evil. I love each and every one, demented one of you. Yes. I'm around my people.
I'm not evil, I'm chaotic neutral.
Once again, your story, you get to tell it how you wish.
That church deserved to be burned down. It looked at me funny. I mean, I meant nothing. I was in Bermuda at the time. Just give me 20 minutes to fake the timestamps on the videos.
Mm-hmm.
We give each other a bath.
I don't know if you could hear Ted in the background, so I heard something weird over on their side of the bed, and I looked over, and the cats are all cuddled up, and they're giving each other a bath, and he had to come in and see it.
We give each other a bath.
It's not that our cats don't get along. They get along absolutely great. They ignore each other. So when they are actually affectionate towards each other, it's like, oh.
Now we're going to crank this down to about a 2.
What was the other song that Mr. Hollifield liked?
The other song was way the hell back up here. Two Become One. Which actually we will, because we're at 53 minutes, we'll pause the music and take a short commercial break here. 1, so I can try and pop my neck one more time, and 2, well, we need to help out other independent creators.
Welcome, friends. I'm Bladed Thesis, and this is my tea house. Come join me every other Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time as we discuss Chinese culture, history, philosophy, and of course, martial arts. You can find me at youtube.com/BLADEDTH3SIS. Pull up a chair, grab a cup of tea, or the drink of your choice, and join the discussion.
All right, and we are back, folks, and we're going to jump it down to track number 10, To Become One.
And Dan wanted to add that thesis, if you write that story up, I will publish it. But if it is more than 7,000 words, I might have to put it in the long fiction instead of short stories.
Either way,
It's on there.
it's on
It'll
there.
be there. And thesis says that he has got a pupper begging for his chicken sandwich. Don't they all? And Foxy said fan fiction is a thing. It is.
Mm-hmm.
And there is the link for Bladed Thesis. We saw his ad first. And then there is the link for, I say her name wrong. I've been told this, so now I have to think about it. Trelina. No, what did I say it?
Trelena.
Trelena. No. Did I say it right?
That time you did.
Trelena. Okay. There's her link to her bio on IndieCD. And Dan said you can avoid the copyright infringement by not mentioning anything related to the Highlander movies or TV series. No copyrighted characters in the story, no mention of movie or show plots. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of what you can do. Bladed Thesis. Thesis.
And I know it probably doesn't look like I'm really shading much right now because of the way the light kind of washes it out. You'll be able to see it a lot better once I turn this light off.
I look forward to that.
I actually noticed that during the deer time lapses, you can't really see the shading. Like, you can see it on the one, and then once it went under the light, you couldn't see it. And when I was doing the third one in the video, it looked like I hadn't done the other two, and all of a sudden I turn off the light and all three are shaded. It's magic trick!
But that's for Joe's other channel, Joe After Dark.
Oh, don't give him ideas. He'll start a Joe After Dark channel now. I mean, Rich, you do have a, what was it, late night ruminations with Crazy Uncle Dick?
Random Ruminations.
With Crazy Uncle Dick.
With Crazy Uncle Dick. Actually, yeah, it's part of life lessons with Crazy Uncle Dick. It's just that it's what those various segments are, is just random ruminations.
Okay. With Crazy Uncle Dick.
With Crazy Uncle Dick.
Dan said we had one writer who used the Star Trek universe without using any of the named ships or characters. Then 10 years later, he was able to publish the hard copy with permission of the franchise. Lisa says, why not just use the Not Joe channel for After Dark?
Not a bad idea.
That's a good idea, Thesis. You get credit for that one.
Problem is, I do generally go to sleep at a certain point.
When Hobo lets you.
Well, no, he's normally the one trying to herd me up to bed.
Was he trying to herd you now?
No, not yet. Once the wife goes to bed, he will. This is one I'm definitely gonna have to redo as like a larger piece. because I think some of the detailing would show up better. And I'm actually basing it off of, so I can pull this up real quick. Reason arms. So I'm actually kind of basing it off this.
That's the original.
So
drawing.
this was the original, and then they had kind of like a, what they envisioned the shading and everything of.
Nice.
Kind of mimicking this with the shading, or at least trying to. There we go. I do like this song.
Lisa says that he is physically incapable of going to bed before midnight unless I'm really sick. If I go to bed before, then I wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. and can't get back to sleep. I can be that way. Sleep is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sleep's been really weird this weekend. I can't count the number of days I looked up and I was like, what do you mean it's 5 o'clock? I looked at the clock a minute ago. I looked at the clock a minute ago. It was only 10:30.
And Dan said, thank you, Joe. I feel this is one of my top 10 best for the songs. And then Thesis says, and I almost always have one night a month that I can't sleep at all. I noticed you haven't been doing that as much with those tips where you don't have to rub it on your sandpaper.
Yeah, I don't have to do as much with these. Especially with the shading, because it's not going over the ink lines. But I'm also not having to burn nearly as hot to get the lines that I need, which is kind of nice.
Not as much carbon buildup.
Yeah. Because actually, when I did the outlining of all this, I think I had it set for like a 2.5. Whereas the other burner, I would have needed about a 9. That other burner was weird though. It acted like if you didn't have it at 9 or higher, it wasn't on.
Just the design of it, or it was just brand-wise probably not as touchy or too touchy, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was just brand-wise, because both my burners were like that. If I didn't have them, cranked up to almost a 9 out of 10, they acted like they weren't even really on.
And then you hit 10 and it's like, start the wood on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Fire! Lisa said he bought a cheap burner from Walmart a few years back to make a Father's Day present for his dad. It's a piece of crap and I'm not very good, so it looked awful, but he loved it. You know what? Parents will love anything you give them.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, too, a lot of those cheaper burners also act as soldering irons, and their temperature control just isn't there. at all.
By
I-
trade, they're soldering irons, or you can use them as that.
You can use them as that. Because a lot of them will actually come with the
a lot
tips
of
to do soldering.
article use, yeah. Especially from a big box store.
Ian said most nights he nods off the chair about 1 a.m. because I don't know I am sleepy until I wake up. Then about 3 a.m. I go to bed and wake up about 8 a.m. without an alarm. And then there's times that you do fall asleep at other times in the chair, and certain individuals have to try to wake you up over the airwaves. And Thesis said he has to turn it almost all the way up before it will even do anything. So it must be a lot like the ones that you had, Joe.
Yeah.
But if you're just learning, or if you're just getting into it or not sure you want to invest a lot, at least it's a starting point.
Yeah. My suggestion to most people when they're wanting to start off is, as much as I don't like supporting Hobby Lobby, they generally have a 40% off coupon. The burner that I was using was a $100 burner. You could actually pick it up from Hobby Lobby for $60.
How much?
60.
Oh, that's at 6. I'm like, what?
Michael's also often has a 20 to 40% coupon if you get their app and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I get emails from Michael's quite often. Sure, Dan. He said, nah, that's just a ploy to get sexy women to talk to me. No, you were sleeping. But this might still be a ploy. What's Lindsay's phone number? I'll call her next time and she can come wake you up.
Oh, I wouldn't wake up Lindsay just to go wake him up.
I guess it would be on camera. We don't get to watch it.
All right.
something tells me Lindsay's the type to leave no witnesses.
Yeah.
And Thesis said, unfortunately, the closest place like that to us is 2.5 hours away, and I really don't like to support Hobby Lobby if I can avoid it.
Well, if nothing else, you do what my wife does when she has no choice but to go to Hobby Lobby to find something. You claim it's for pagan purposes.
Do they just like, here, take it, give us our money, and get the heck out?
No, but it really confuses them.
Foxy's having more candy cane.
The looks of consternation on their face is priceless. Yeah, the funny thing is, I am an ordained Christian minister. I will learn how to speak here eventually. It's not like I do it for a living. Oh, wait,
A
I do.
minister?
Well, there are folks that call me Tiny.
We'll call you late for dinner.
But even being a Christian minister, I fully ordained. I don't like Hobby Lobby's tactics and ethics on certain things.
Fair enough.
But granted, I am a different flavor than they are, so.
Yeah, she pretty much goes in there and it'll be for like little like potion bottles and stuff.
And just troll the hell out of them.
And Dan is screaming, no, don't wake Lindsay up, I beg of you. Okay, fine, I won't. But if anybody wants to know that this lovely taco came from Lindsay. And Rich is an ordained Christian miniature. He heard it too.
if I ordained Bucky, then Bucky would be an ordained Christian miniature pincher.
There we go.
I'll get him a little priest collar.
Touched up a little bit more with some of the shading, but that is the needed work.
That looks really good, Joe. Oh my God. I'm reading.
Yes, I
Dan's
agree.
comment.
I agree. It looks very good.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, he said he could walk in dressed in all black with his Tibetan mala and fake Chinese character tattoos. Dan's laughing at that, and Foxy said, "Nice, Joe." And
Thank
Dan's
you.
gonna fall out of his chair if he keeps laughing. Related thesis is also an ordained minister. ULC gave me my ordination. I can't say that word. You say it.
Ordination.
Thank you.
Same church.
I can't use it for anything yet.
I presided over the wedding of my son to his now wife, and also my eldest sister's second eldest child. So I got to be the officiant for both of them. Not at the same time. They were a couple years apart. The funny thing is, I got ordained back in the late 90s, early 2000s as a, oh, this is fun. This isn't real. Is it? What do you mean I'm really ordained?
Richie is officially a man of the cloth.
Yes, and actually, and
What
it's
kind
not
of cloth?
launching myself. Leather. And it's not doxing myself because it's an old address. Yes, I'm official. I'm a card-carrying minister.
So you guys are both ordained ministers through the ULC.
Yes.
So you're brothers of the cloth.
Yes.
Or,
Actually, Carl is too. Dark
Yeah.
Pope
I don't know
is
who
actually
my neighbor
ordained.
was ordained through or not. I don't remember who my neighbor ordained through, but he was a ordained minister because he did my wedding.
Although it's, I believe, Kentucky that won't accept my credentials. Because it was a online ordination instead of an in-person ordination kind of a deal. So I can't perform in... It was either Kentucky or Tennessee. It was one of the two. I can't remember. But most of the other states were like, we don't care. Go for it.
I know way too many people in those states right now that I'm not going to comment what I'm thinking because I don't want to offend them, but yeah. Foxy wants to know, did we break Dan? And did the not broken Foxy, but I've seriously dented for years.
My middle sister's second oldest keeps getting mad at me because every time I see her when she comes up, I'm like, now remember, just because you moved to Kentucky doesn't mean you can start dating cousins. Oh yeah, I'll go there.
Thesis keeps teasing Foxy that he will perform their wedding just to watch people's reactions. I'm just imagining him going
My middle child wants me to do her wedding should she ever get married, but she also wants me to walk her down the aisle. So I just thought that would be funny if I just walk her down the aisle, then sit down in the parent seat, and we just sit there and let people stew for a couple minutes. It's like, where the hell's the minute? Oh, it's right. I am here.
Rich, I can see you doing something like that.
Oh yeah.
I really can. Thesis said that he does not have I don't have the official documentation because when I did it back in the early 2010s, I didn't have the money for it. And Foxy's she's a bit.
She's a bit bent herself.
Yeah. Thank you.
During the rehearsal dinner, my daughter-in-law almost murdered me because when I got up to start doing the walkthrough of everything, I went, marriage brings us together here today. From Princess Bride.
Yep.
And she's like, no.
I have already made.
It got your attention to get your ass over here, now didn't it? So we can start.
I already made a comment about going plaid tonight, so.
Oh.
I am. So am I, but she seems to enjoy it, is what Lisa said. And then Dan goes, avoided using the word bent on purpose, Foxy. I didn't want to break.
Richie, I need to stay out of your head, but I'm just going to flash this now.
There's too much of a bend. It might be Peyronie's disease, and you might want to have that checked.
And if Carl was here, it'd be like, just make sure it's not on the big pole. Put it on the right size pole.
And we have broken dawn.
No, I'm not broken. I'm just a little bit.
Blade also said, don't get me started on that one, Richie. My mom hates that scene, and I can do that whole thing from memory.
A fun thing that I did during my son's wedding is I'm like, Zach and Courtney. I can't think of any two people that deserve to be together better than anyone else. And then I looked at my son and said, except for me and your mom. And then I looked at the audience. I'm like, for those of you who aren't aware and thought the minister just got away with a your mom joke to the groom, I am his actual father. Almost got kicked out of the guild in World of Warcraft when Zach was 12 because something happened and we were in voice chat and I started cursing and he's like, you kiss your mother at that mouth? I'm like, no, I kiss yours. And the other guildies thought I was messing with a kid.
Yeah.
And it took us a half an hour to convince him, no, I am his dad.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, he was so pissed when I hit him with that one.
Jesus said he could probably do the whole movie from memory. Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes I can.
Between the Princess Bride and Mel Brooks movies, that is the epitome of my childhood of the 80s. And it was...
Excuse me while I whip this out.
So my wife and I watched Blazing Saddles the other night, and we're both sitting there taking turns just throwing lines.
He rode a blazing saddle, he wore a shining star. Yeah, no, I've never watched that movie.
These are common people land.
Did you know it's one of Ted's nicknames is Tedley Lamar? Yeah. Yep. Keep on using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Star Wars, Viking metal, loves cats. I couldn't think could love this man any more before meeting him until you did that.
Yes, it was one of his nicknames back in the days when he used to partake in a lot of more drinking, any drinking. But yeah, that was one of his nicknames at the bar had Tedley Lamar.
And Dan says, I do the same thing with Rocky Horror and Shock Treatment, even when I watch them alone.
Well, I told you, one of my friend's cats, he totally Inigo Montoya'd my face one time. He's sitting there looking at me and like, purring. All of a sudden, he brings up both paws right down the sides of my cheeks.
Ah!
I'm like, I just got Inigo Montoya'd.
Well, folks,
he said, you want a fun game? Put on a bad porn and mute the audio, and then have your friends just throw out random lines. Green romantics may ensue.
Oh, No, I am not streaming that during the green room on Discord.
You have a specific one that you were thinking of?
No,
Oh,
but I was
God.
about to go do some internet searching. Because the green room, especially if I do it like 2 hours into the green room when we've all had a little something to drink at that point.
Thesis said he broke
I might
Foxy.
still have the hard drive from 25-year-old me. I could look at my old browser history.
I broke Foxy and a few friends by during a really dirty scene throwing out. I just saved a bunch of money on my car insurance by switching to Dan said there are bad porns. There's good porns. Just saying. Foxy said that is so much fun. I'm gonna try that. And hi,
Hey, Carrie.
I can't roar like Joe, so Joe's gonna roar for all of us.
No, I didn't say Siri. I said Kiri. You dumb. Rar.
There we go.
And over here, we've got a big gay lion. Roar.
Sure.
Anyway.
Dan saying hi to Kiri.
Okay, I need to cap that and turn that into a button for the soundboard for the Discord. Just you sitting there going, grr.
And it's an exit stage left.
Yeah, and we are creeping up on an hour and a half, so I think this would be a good time to wrap her up. And anybody else have anything they would like to add before we play the end credits?
Well, I just want to say congratulations on the new burner. It looks like it's going to give you some more options, so I'm excited to see where that leads you.
Thank you.
Foxy said it's a fun game.
Rich, any words of wisdom before we go?
Uh-oh. Well, hold on here.
Don't be on the electric
I have
fence.
bad news for Joe Dog tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
You better type fast, Carrie.
Yep. We will hold until you tell us what the bad news was.
We're waiting on bated eyes.
And Fox says the shading was really nice tonight.
Thanks. I had to get that far because I was too busy being a smartass.
Yeah, the shading turned out pretty good for the most part. I need to touch up a few spots, but
you're just starting on the shading, so
yeah.
Oh.
I don't think I'm gonna have a sequel of his cigar and whiskey story.
We're all looking confused.
Okay.
You know
there was a con where that didn't go well for Kiri.
Oh, okay. Joe's been throwing shade all over the place tonight.
Yes, I have. You have Spicy Joe. Agger.
All right. I'm definitely cutting that one.
As I said, spicy drizzle, not sweet drizzle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Spicy Joe. Agger. That has to be done.
I was going to say, you are an admin on the Discord server, I think, so you should be able to do that.
Yes. I'm the one that added the beep beep, Richie.
Ah.
Yeah, I love playing that one. Foxy wants to add in Agger as well. And Kiri has not found any Traveling Revelers event this weekend. But if you can make it to Indiana, there is the IndyCD.con.
Mm-hmm. And Kiri says, grr.
He's the real talent in that show. Oh, wait, we're not talking about Invader Zim? Never mind. Sorry.
With that, folks, we're going to say goodnight, everybody.
Good night. See y'all this weekend.
If you can't be good at it.
And if you're good at it, make sure you charge at least $20.